Hi friends, welcome to Crack Grade B. We are back with yet another important lecture, and this will be the part 2 of the government scheme that has been either newly released or have been upgraded to its latest version. Okay, so we are covering up some of the important scheme that can come up in your phase 1 and phase 2 of the upcoming exam, that is NABARD Grade A. So I hope you are preparing well for your examination. Let's begin with the part 2. So this will continue with some parts because there are multiple government schemes. So once we cover the national government scheme by the union government, then we will take up the state government schemes because there are some important schemes that are all related to agriculture and health by the Maharashtra government, by the Madhya Pradesh government, by the Uttar Pradesh government. So we are going to collate that and we are going to study that in the upcoming parts. So please do follow the lecture, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let's begin now. So the first one is PMFBY, right? So if you are preparing well and if you can identify the full form of PMFBY, then you are on the right track. So this lecture would form as a revision base for your upcoming examination. But if you are not able to identify this scheme PMFBY, then this is the first time or maybe few times you have studied and you need to follow this rigorously to understand. Now, this was launched in January 13, 2016. Okay, revamped. So see, this is a scheme from 2016. So already this has completed 5 years in 2021. Okay, so revamped version. This is a revamped version of PMFBY, that is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana of 1.0. ठीक है, तो ये इसका क्या है, एक revamped version है, that is often called as 2.0. This is administered by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. ये तुम्हारा इंपॉर्टेंट इसलिए है क्योंकि ये फेज 1 पे ना पूछ सकता है, ये भी ठीक है. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. नेशनल एग्रीकल्चर रूरल स्कीम. तो ये जो स्कीम है ना, ये स्कीम को नेशनल एग्रीकल्चर इंश्योरेंस स्कीम, वेदर बेस्ड क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस स्कीम एंड दी नेशनल एग्रीकल्चर इंश्योरेंस स्कीम, ये तीनों का एक रिवैम्प्ड वर्जन बनाया गया था 2016 में, जो कि प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना बोला गया था. Got it? So all these three schemes combined and modified to form Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Then the union government has allocated rupees 16,000 crore for Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana for the fiscal year 2021-22. This is most important thing that you need to remember. The allocated amount for the next financial year is rupees 16,000 crore. Financial fiscal year 2021-22. Now, let us understand what this scheme is for. So, PMFBY 2.0. Let us see what government has modified and brought out the new and revamped version of PMFBY 1.0. So, initially it was compulsory for a loanee farmer and now it has been made voluntary. By the name itself, it is clear that this is somewhat related to an insurance scheme for the farmer. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana means it is an insurance scheme for the crops, right? So initially in 1.0, it was only compulsory for the loanee farmer. So whosoever is taking loan in any of the government scheme has to mandatorily enroll into PMFBY, right? But now in the revamped version 2.0, it has been made voluntary. Now farmer is going to decide that if he wants to take the insurance scheme or if you don't want to avail the insurance scheme. Now, next one, coverage. Now let us see the coverage. So the coverage is all farmer including sharecroppers and tenant farmers growing notified crop in a notified area during the season who have insurance interest in the crops are eligible. This means not only the farmer with the paper, but it also covers the farmer who are farming into the other field as a tenant farmer. So the coverage is wide in this, right? Now, let's move forward. What is the capping? Cap the center's premium subsidy under the scheme for premium rates up to 30% for unirrigated areas, crops, and 25% for irrigated areas, crops, and 90% for northeastern states. So this is very important. You will have to remember. And if you remember this, there can be multiple benefits. Benefit number one, you are going to get in your phase one. If there is a direct question, you have the answer at your disposal. In the phase two, there can be statement based question because this is the current affair from the month of January, means that is last 6 months. So you have a benefit in the phase two objective paper as well. And when it's come to descriptive, when you know this data in detail, you can write some good answers if you put this data into it, right? Now let's move forward. The government has given the flexibility to states, union territory to implement PMFY and given them the option to select any number of additional risk covers features. See, as we all know, India is a very diverse country when it's come to terrain, right? Like the terrain in Uttarakhand, the terrain in Jammu Kashmir is very much different from the terrain in central India, maybe Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh, Bihar. And the terrain that the central India have is much more different than from the South India. So in the South India, we see coconuts are growing, but in central India, more of Rabi and Kharif crop are growing. In Punjab, wheat production is good. So in Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, apple production is good. Like so, so this PMFBY, okay, so PMFBY allows the state government to decide on any other additional risk or feature. Why this is done so? Because state government can curtail the benefits and risk and features for the farmer as per their geographic situation. Getting my point? So, so this is again a benefit. Now knowing this thing will help you in descriptive. Next is insurance company have to now spend 0.5% of the total premium collected on insurance, education, and communication activities. So this is something that is made mandatory for the insurance company. Let's say PMFBY, okay, in the state of Maharashtra. This is completely an hypothetical example, right? In the state of Maharashtra, insurance company maybe LIC. So LIC is not doing it. Still, let's take an hypothetical example. LIC is doing it. So whatever premium it collects, so the amount 0.5% of it should be spent on information, education, and communication activities. So this has been written in the objective of PMFBY 2.0. Okay, and this has to be mandatorily followed by any insurance company. Those are into it. Now let's move. Loss yield. So what is this insurance covering? Yield loss. Now what is yield loss? कोई भी फार्मर जब अपने खेती में कुछ भी ग्रो करता है ना, अगर वो फसल का आउटकम नहीं रहे, ठीक है, आउटकम नहीं आए, तो दैट इज नोन एज यील्ड लॉस. अभी यील्ड लॉस दो प्रकार का हो सकता है. देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ यील्ड लॉस. द नंबर वन इज नेचुरल कैलामिटीज. लेट्स से देयर इज अ फ्लड, there is a landslide, okay, there is no rain or very less rain. In this case, this is something related to nature where human doesn't have any control. In this case, insurance play a big role to minimize the loss for the farmer, right? So yes, so all the natural calamities are covered. Now, what is not covered? Unpreventable situation, right? Sorry, preventable situation like a war. If there is a war in Jammu Kashmir, okay, so there are chances that the crops of whatever there is in the field will wash away in the war, right? So in this situation, it is absolutely not covered. Getting my point? Okay. So let's move forward with some other features of PMFBY 2.0. Now, what is the premium? The premium for the Kharif crop is 2.0%. Premium for the Rabi crop is 1.5%. So now, in the comment section, you need to mention the harvesting season and sowing season of the Kharif crop and as well as Rabi crop. Okay, mention it. If you know it, that's good. If you do not know, open the books and remember it. Then, allocation for insurance companies to be done for 3 years. So earlier, there was a flexibility for an insurance company to be into this either for 1, 2 or 3 years. Okay, but now it's 3 years. So any tender that they are going to get is for 3 years. No minimum, no maximum. Then there is a renewal. Next, next is state allowed to set up own insurance company for insurance implementation. So the statement is itself clear that the states are allowed by the union government that they can open their own insurance company for implementation of PMFBY. Then insurance company have to now spend 0.5% of the total premium collected on. Okay, so sorry for the repetition. We have already seen it in the last slide. Now, let's move forward with PMKVY. Again, I would ask you the same thing. If you can identify by the abbreviation PMKVY, it's good. If not, then you need a serious preparation during these days, during very few days left for the examination, right? It's Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, right? This was launched in 2015, is a flagship scheme of the Ministry of Skill Development Entrepreneurship. So who is administrating this? Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. But this is implemented by National Skill Development Corporation. So there are two bodies involved. Remember this. Okay. So one is the body who is administrating it. That is the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. The other one is implementing agency. That is National Skill Development Corporation. Now, why this is done? I mean, why this scheme is there? To encourage and promote a skill development in the country by providing free short duration skill training and incentivizing this by providing monetary reward to youth for skill certification, right? And you know, this scheme forms an important part in human development. You remember in human development, there was a dimension, education, and this is most important. And why this is most important? So let me talk about human development a bit. So this is most important because in a country like India, where we have a demographic dividend over a country like US and Japan, which is aging. So the future is in India's hand. If we can reskill our youth, that is me and you and people in the age group of 18 to 40 or 35 or 40 years, this is going to prove a boon for India, and at least the demographic dividend kind of thing is available in India for at least 2040. So in this 10 to 15 years, India has a very big chance of taking the global stage, of doing everything, right? So if you see in information technology, we are way more better than any other country, right? And we can do this for the manufacturing sector as well by reskilling and skilling the youth who are looking up for the job. So when you watch this lecture, this will be getting released soon in the YouTube human development. You will get to understand, and when you connect this both the thing, you will understand how this PMKVY looks forward to incentivize the youth. Okay. And this is again going to prove a boon for the demographic dividend. Now, let's move forward. In 2015-16, 19.85 lakh candidates were trained. So this was the outcome. Now, let's move forward with 2.0. Again, we are reading this scheme because this has been either discussed or revamped in the last 6 months. So yes, this is revamped. This is the revamped version of the first PMKVY. So now what is 2.2? PMKVY 2016-20 was launched by scaling up both in terms of sector and geography, and by greater alignment with other missions of Government of India like Make in India, Digital India, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and etc. So see, skilling means what? Skilling means skilling in every sector. Right, so there can be skilling in the manufacturing of steel sector. There can be skilling in terms of computer education. There can be skilling in swachhata. Right, so skills is not limited to just one thing. Skilling is a very wide topic. Right, so this PMKVY was launched by aligning different things like Make in Made in India. So Make in India is a flagship scheme by the Government of India, right? And when you say Make in India, you include everything. you include steel, and you include mobile phone. So there are two different types of skill needed to manufacture steel and to manufacture a mobile phone, right? So why I talk about mobile phone? So the Samsung plant is in Greater Noida is only after Make in India initiative by the government of India, right? So that is why I gave an example of mobile phone. Now let's move forward. An allocation of 12,000 crore has been made for the period of 2016-20. Okay, so 12,000 crore has been made. More than 1.2 crore youth has been trained, oriented to an improved standardized skilling ecosystem in the country under PM, uh, PMKVY 1.0 and PMKVY 2.0. Okay, so till now we are only see. Let me go to. So here, this was the phase one. This was the 1.0. The outcome was 19.85 lakh candidate. Now this is the 2.0. Okay, and the 2.0 12,000 crore was spent during the period of 2016 and 2020. 1.2 lakh crore youth has been trained under 1 and 2. Got it? Now let us see the current affair, and that is PMKVY 3.0. So PMKVY 3.0 is a step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat and will be implemented in more decentralized structure, district skill committee and state skill development mission. So see, it has come down, right? So it has come down to the level of district level. So now district skill committee is going to decide the kind of skills that their youth is going to have, right? And yes, decentralizing the process always help. And how? Let us connect this with Panchayati Raj. You have seen this in that lecture, in that particular lecture. So when things are coming down, the things are more organized and can be manageable in small bits and pieces, right? So this is more in decentralized structure, and the skills is going to be decided and looked upon by the district skill committee and state skill development mission. Most important thing. Then it was launched in 717 district, 28 region and 8 union territories. Then target is to train 8 lakh candidate, 8 lakh candidate over a scheme period of 2021, 2020 to 2021 with an outlay of 948.90 crore. Then it will definitely it will identify job roles that have demanded at local level and skill the youth, linking them to these opportunities local for vocal. Okay. Then the 729 Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendras PMKKs employed non-PMKKs training center and more than 200 ITIs under Skill India will be rolling out PMKVY 3.0 training to build a robust pool of skilled professionals. The focus is on bridging the demand supply gap for by promoting skill development area of new age and industry 4.0 job roles. See, the national education policy 2.0 also puts focus on vocational training for holistic growth and increased employability. Now, all these lines are not more important. So, whatever is important, I have already marked it, right? And why I am telling you all these lines is because you have a descriptive examination, right? So, when you hit these things twice, thrice, so you develop a database in your mind. So, when you write an answer, you can connect it through, right? So, that is the reason I gave multiple points. Absolutely, these are not much important. The last 4 lines, these are not much important for your objective based questions. Then now we are done with this. Now let's move forward to FPOS. Now again, what I will tell you, FPOS, if you know this, you are on right track. If you don't know, you will have to make a serious studies during these last days. So FPOS is formation and promotion of 10,000 farmer produce organization was launched in Feb 2020 at Chitrakoot, Uttar Pradesh with a budgetary provision of 6,800 65 crore. Now, this scheme is more than 1 year old. Why we are studying it? I'll come to it. Why we are studying it? Now, this is again administered by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. 10,000 FPOs to be formed in 5 years for a period of 1920 to 2023-24 to ensure economies of scale for farmer. Getting my point? Why we are studying this? We are studying this because 10,000 more FPO is going to form in the next 5 years. Okay. Support to FPO will be for 5 years from the year of inception. जब से वो incept होगा तब से सपोर्ट उसको 5 साल के लिए मिलेगा. देन scheme for small marginal and landless farmers. So this scheme basically targets whom? Small marginal and landless farmer. And this forms the majority of the farmers. So let's say there are 100 farmers in the country. Out of this 100 farmer, approximately 84 farmers are small marginal and landless farmer, right? Now, the implementing agency are this. So there are multiple implementing agency. Let's not get into everything. Now, why multiple agency? I'll come to it. See, up to 18 lakh per FPO for a period of 3 years. Up to 18 lakh per year. You need to remember. Provision has also been made for matching equity grant for up to rupees 2,000 per farmer members of FPO with a limit of 15 lakh per FPO. Okay, so you will have to remember this as well. Now, provision of a credit guarantee facility up to rupees 2 crore for a project loan per FPO from eligible lending institution to ensure institutional credit accessibility to FPO. Now see why this multiple implementing agency. So one agency will implement this, the other one would this. This would be implemented by NABARD, which is more important. That is why I have mentioned it, right? So NABARD is going to implement this credit guarantee facility. Now, FPO will be promoted under one district, one product cluster. This is also very important. So when you write something about one district, one product, do not forget to mention about FPO. And also do not forget to mention about that the government has planned 10,000 FPO in the next 5 years and the target year is 2023-24. Okay, you do not forget this two things at least. Now let's see ENAM. The full form is ENAM is National Agriculture Market, right? So in the union budget, the government has proposed to link more 1,000 mandis. Now what are mandis? So I hope you know about APMC. So APMCs are known as mandis, right? So APMC, so what budget has proposed? To connect mandis with the ENAM. Okay, ENAM is a platform. This stands for Electronic National Agriculture Market. Means this is an electronic market. This is not a physical market. The physical market is the APMC or the mandis. So it was launched on 14 April 2016. One of the objective material for your phase 1. Okay. Then as a pan-India electronic trade portal linking APMC across the state. So all the APMCs are linked with the help of ENAM. Okay, then let's see, to promote genuine. So why this is introduced by the government? To promote genuine price discovery and liberal licensing of traders, buyers, and commission agents. Now let us understand what is APMC, right? In very short, let us understand this. Let's suppose this is a farmer. Okay, so what will farmer have? Farmer will have its produce, means whatever he produced. Now he need to sell somewhere. So APMC is a market. Okay, APMC act as a market. So the farmer goes to APMC and sell it. Now APMC is geographically divided, right? So every state Every locality has some of the other APMC where farmer needs to sell. So this is as per the old policy, old scheme. But as per the new farm law, this is liberalized. Like the farmer can sell its produce anywhere in the country, be it APMC, be it in the private market, be it a contractual farming, right? So that is not the point of discussion in this particular lecture. We are discussing ENAM. So let us understand the concept of APMC, right? So what is APMC? APMC is a physical market, right, where the farmer sells its produce and get the cash. Now, what this ENAM does? So see, so this is an APMC. Let's say this is in UP. So there could be an APMC in MP, and there will be many APMC in other states. So ENAM is a platform that will connect, or that will link all the APMCs, right? All the APMCs it will link. ENAM. I hope with very short you understood what ENAM is and what APMC is, right? Now let's move forward in the lecture. Then it's a central sector scheme. So I hope you know what is central sector scheme, with funding coming from Agritech Infrastructure Fund. Now what is Agritech Infrastructure Fund? Right. So we are going to see this in the next slide. Small Farmer Agribusiness Consortium has been selected as the lead agency to implement it. So who is implementing it? Small Farmer Agribusiness Consortium, right? So do remember all these things. You never know, an objective can come. Then until now, so till now, the status of ENAM is 1000 market across 18 states and 3 union territories are functional. Means they are linked with ENAM, National Agriculture Market. Next, ENAM is now developing as platform of platforms. Okay, to create digital ecosystem that leverage the expertise of individual platform across various segments of agri value chain, right? So it is emerging as, or it is developing as platforms of platform. So there are multiple platform, and combining all the platform, it is becoming another platform. Means ENAM is a platform that is going to manage other platforms, right? So this you can mention when you write something about digital India. Right? So this is benefiting farmer in a more transparent way. Now let's move forward and let us see what is Agritech Infrastructure Fund. Right? Agritech Infrastructure Fund. So the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund is a medium long-term debt financing facility. So what it is? It's a medium long-term debt financing facility for investment in viable project for post-harvest management infrastructure. Post-harvest. This is the keyword, right? Post-harvest. And community farming asset through interest subvention and credit guarantee. So that's a small, that's a very important objective of Agritech Infrastructure Fund. The duration of the scheme is FY20 to FY29. It is for 10 years. Okay, 10. Oh, that's already written 10 years. Under the scheme, rupees 1 lakh crore will be provided by bank and financial institution as loan with interest subvention of 3% per annum and credit guarantee coverage under CGTMSE for loans up to 2 crore. So CGTMSE is Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprise. Do remember this. Then let's move forward. Eligible beneficiary include farmer, FPO, PACS, Marketing Cooperative Society, SHG. So you can read all this. This is absolutely not important. Who are eligible? So what is Agritech Infrastructure Fund? So in short, it's medium long-term debt financing facility that manages post-harvest management infrastructure. That's it. Now, the scheme is for 10 years from FY20 to FY29. 1 lakh crore will be provided by the bank with the interest subvention of 3% per annum and credit guarantee. Right? So with this, we have come to the end of the lecture. So this is the most important uh, part of our website as of now. Do visit the website. Take a look at NABARD Grade A course, which is very economically available at 2499. That will be including the mock test. And for NABARD Grade B, it's 3499. So with this, I have come to the end of this lecture. Let's meet in the next part. Thank you and happy learning.